Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So it seems like I wasn't kidding when I actually covered the Ondo last time, and as we can see here, it's up again. So last time I covered it, I think it was around 28 cent, and after that I covered it, it was trading around 65 or 70 cent, and it's now over $1.23. So let's just see what is going on with it and whether will it go up again, or do we have any opportunity to actually look into. So let's just see. First of all, let's just see the recent news about the Ondo. After that, we'll look at the price section, and there is the Ondo stats and how the Ondo is doing overall. So let's get started. Okay, so first of all, let's look at the state of real world assets or the tokenization on the blockchain in general. So we had an article about mapping the RWA landscape, and if you look here, it has been actually doing pretty awesome. We have commodities, equities, and funds, and the biggest one as of now is actually, I think, PAXG, which is a tokenized gold, and which is the biggest one, as you can see here. And we also have others actually coming up from the looks of it. So overall, we do have the tokenization in gold is doing extremely well. After that, we have treasuries, I think, which includes the treasuries refers to tokenized government debt instruments, so we do have that as well. We have Franklin Templeton, we have BlackRock, BUIDL, we also have Ondo as well. So that is doing pretty awesome. And if you look here, overall the tokenization is actually popping up in 2022. And after that, we have the article from the CoinDesk as well, where they actually say that BlackRock, Ondo, and Superstate, the biggest movers in the RWA sector 1 or in Q1. As you can see here, we have Ondo and BlackRock coming up big time, so I think we do have growth as well. So if you look at here, BlackRock's BUIDL becomes the world's largest tokenized treasury fund. It took less than 6 months for the BlackRock USD institutional digital liquidity fund to surpass Franklin Templeton's 1-year-old tokenized treasury fund. So that is the biggest one, the biggest highlight of the tokenization in general. So I think as of now we do have a pretty good narrative coming up in 2024, and I think it could actually continue till the 2025, and I think slowly it's becoming big. So moving towards Ondo's news, Ondo has been actually making a lot of news recently, and they actually have been making a lot of partnerships. So the first one is actually Zebek Network. So they actually partnered with Zebek Instant. So basically Ondo USTY functionality is integrated into Zebek card, I think, which is pretty good for the Ondo as well. So that means this is a big leap in bringing Ondo's innovative financial solution to Zebek ecosystem, and I think which is pretty big for both of them. Beside that, we do have a pretty big partnership with EtherFi. So EtherFi is one of the biggest upcoming Ethereum liquid staking platform, or Ethereum, I think, re-staking platform. So it has been actually growing rapidly, as you can see. So they did actually partner with them, and I think that was pretty big for Ondo as well. And I think that it did actually bring a lot of eyes to Ondo if you look at the Ondo price action. And I think that was actually one of the significant news if you look here. So it went from here to actually it pumped really well from here. So they have been actually making a lot of partnerships with that as well. So beside that, we also had RUSTY, a new form of USTY is now live on Ethereum, which was pretty big. And beside that, I think they actually made a partnership with MSAFE. MSAFE is an institutional grade multi-signature asset management platform built on top of SL SOE. So that is pretty big for Ondo as well. So beside that, Binance Research also released a big update on real world assets, as you can see, and they actually did mention that BlackRock's tokenized fund BUIDL is now the largest tokenization treasury fund just 6 weeks after its launch, capturing 30% of the market share, which is a big one. Much of the BUIDL's growth can be attributed to Ondo's finance, because they have over 50 million inflows last week, bringing its total contribution over 140 million overall. So the on-chain tokenized fund landscape has seen a pretty good or steady growth, which is pretty good, I think. So we also have the report was actually pretty good, and I think that actually matters for the Ondo in the future as well. So these are the tokenized government security that you can see, and I think in the yellow one and in the red one we have USTY, which is pretty growing slowly, and I think that's pretty good. And we also have Ondo's OUSG, which is here, which is pretty big one as well. So beside that, we also had Northern Trust releasing actually which is a custodian with 17 trillion which is a pretty big thing, I think. And if you just look here, they actually have, I think, something to do with tokenization. I did not read this because it was a pretty big one, but I think they have been actually embracing the tokenization and the digital assets, which is pretty awesome. Because if you look here, they have over 54% in the digital assets, I think. So that was pretty big from them as well. So this is a survey. Still, I think that's a pretty big one. So overall, this was the news related to Ondos, and I think overall the Ondos shows a really promising partnerships. They have been doing a really promising partnership recently, and they actually have been growing rapidly, and the tokenization itself is growing rapidly. So I think that's pretty good for Ondo as well. So looking at Ondo's stats or Ondo's DeFi TVL, it has actually gone parabolic, as you can see. Basically it does not show any signs of stopping as of now, as you can see here, and I think which is pretty awesome. And if we go into in depth, as you can see, most of the TVL is on Ethereum, and Solana is actually becoming popular from the Ondo as well. As you can see, we have around 53 million on Solana as well. We also have Mental, Sui and Aptos, so it is actually going multi-chain, so which is pretty awesome for the Ondo. And in terms of the token, we have USDY, and beside that we have OUSG is actually coming up as well, which is pretty awesome. So if you look here, this is, I think, tokens in terms of value, and most of the biggest one, I think, is USDY as of now. And this is the inflow or outflow. As you can see, we only have inflows as of now. As you can see, we have USD inflows, which is pretty awesome, and I don't think we have that many outflows, as you can see, and I think that actually matters. And in terms of token inflows, we do have as well those. So I think overall the stats of Ondo looks pretty promising. So I was also able to find two of the analysis of the Ondo on the Dune Analytics. This is a pretty big analytics platform as well. So if we just look here, we do have a pretty good growth for the minting of USDY request, as you can see, which is pretty awesome. After that, we also have Ondo Finance or USG mint as well. They have actually gone up. And beside that, we also have cumulative mints on Flux EA. Those have also gone up. So after that, I did actually find other as well. So as you can see, this one is not that impactful because it does not show that much data. Still, overall the Ondo has been doing extremely well when it comes to its state, and I think that is pretty awesome. And as of now, it does not seem like they are stopping anytime soon. So this is a very important part of this video. So if you look at the tokenomics of the Ondo, it has a max supply of 10 billion, out of which we have around 1.4 billion in the circulation as of now. So if we just go to the Ondo's upcoming vesting or upcoming we have what token unlocks. It's coming actually in January of 2025. So starting as of now, we do have a daily emission of around 380k, as you can see here, which is actually going towards community access sales. So I don't think that it's actually contributing to sell pressure as of now, but the biggest issue is actually coming for the Ondo is in 235 days. If you are holding Ondos, you have to actually keep this in mind, because this is going to be very important. And I think starting 2025, Ondo may actually start seeing the sale pressure. So that is, I think, when the big investors will be actually taking profit from the Ondo. And as of now, it's pumping most likely because of that, because they want their money to be actually multiplied by, I think, at least 10x or even 100x, who knows. But they do the investors actually do get around 1.2 billion tokens from out of 10 billion, so you have to keep that in mind. So the first big cliff is actually coming in January of 20, as you can see here. So this one is actually more clear on the DeFi Llama as well. So if you just look here, we do have a pretty good allocation towards ecosystem growth as well as protocol development, as well as private sales. So the private sales, they actually raised around 34 million in the 3 rounds. We had ICO, which I think went to the community. We had Series A and Series B. So in seed round, there were around 15 investors, which actually includes Tribe. We have, I think, Triblock. We have the Lao. We have, who is this guy? He is a co-founder of Aave, which is pretty big, I think. We also have the co-founder of Contestem, which is a pretty big thing. We also have, I think, Protocol Scale, Pantera Capital, which is a pretty big one because that is one of the leading crypto ventures in the crypto market. We also have Genesis, and I think they actually went bankrupt, and as of now they may I think they could actually sell their holdings once we do see them get. We also have a digital currency group, so they are, I think, in the similar position, so they could actually sell out. So we do have 2 of the sellers. We have Genesis and we have digital currency group, and beside that we also have Diego Monica. He is the founder of, I think, Encharge Capital. After that we have a Series A, out of which we also again we have Pantera Capital and Founders Fund. So Pantera is everywhere, so they, I think, will most probably take profit once they do get that coins, but as of now they have not received any coins, so they will be actually receiving coins after 2025, in 2025 January. So the first month of for the Ondo could be actually pretty big in January. If there is a lot of demand for the tokenization, they may not sell, but if there is a slight sell pressure towards tokenization, I think the Ondo could actually could go down the hill or from that point. We also have Coinbase Ventures, which is a pretty big one as well. So overall, Ondo does have a pretty good investor behind them, so they are most likely helping them as well as of now, but they could be the biggest seller once they do get their coins as well. So I think we do have to be careful. So from the looks of it, we won't have any other vesting before 2026, so that is pretty good, because I think this we have, I think, 1 2 3 4 5 6, so we have 6 cliffs which will actually last till 2029, I think, which is pretty awesome. So the first cliff, we may actually not see that much sell pressure, but I think from the second and third the price could actually correct itself towards its supply. But as of now, I think till 2024 December, I think we are pretty good for holding Ondo, because there is no incoming supply in the market, which is pretty awesome. So now let's move towards Ondo's price action. So I think this one is still bullish, and as of now I think we have to wait for the correction, because if you look here, I will just draw a box for you. So if you look here, it actually did a pretty good correction in this zone before this pump, and it also did the same thing before this pump as well. So I think we are due for a correction as of now, so it is better to wait for it to come down. But I think this coin is still bullish, because overall sentiment towards tokenization, and I think that is a pretty big one. So the first entry point as of now, I think, should be pretty good, around is 93 to 87 cent. That is a pretty big one, because I think that is a pretty good demand zone as of now, which could be tested. If not, I think we do have a pretty good demand zone, which I think could actually be tested once the BTC does snap a wick, or if the BTC does go down and the overall alts go down. I think Ondo could actually retest and touch 76 cent or even 72 cent, and I think this is the most likely the entry point which I would be looking at. So it is better to wait for this entry point. I think that is the most important one, and it could actually get filled, and that could be interesting. So beside that, as for price prediction, as of now Ondo has the market cap of around 1.7 billion. So as of now, if 2024 turns out to be the real narrative for the tokenization, I think Ondo could actually end up hitting at least something like 3 billion or even 5 billion. So if it does hit 5 billion, I think I think hitting $10 should not be a problem, or even higher than that. So if we do look here, Ondo is the biggest one when it comes to the tokenization, and after that we have a Pendle as well. So overall, I think the tokenization market is doing extremely well, as you can see. So I think we could actually see a $10 if the move towards tokenization actually gets increased. So if let's just say that we have other banks, big ones, coming into the tokenization, I think the Ondo will pump along with that. So Ondo does have a pretty good narrative, and I think in the crypto market, narrative is everything. So if the narrative for the tokenization does take off, I think Ondo will end up most likely hitting 5 billion or even below than that. So that could actually happen. But as of now, this is the Ondo's highest market cap, which is around 1.8 billion, and as of now it's around 1.78 billion. So $10 is a possibility for this coin, but I think these are the best entries for the Ondo coin as of now. Those could actually happen. So if you want to go for a riskier entry, I think there could be entry somewhere around 1.04 or 1.02. So this was it. I hope you liked the video. I will be back with more. Thanks for watching.